Hi, my name is Asukrana and I'm here to do a presentation on sustainable construction material. So let's start. So these are the table of contents that I'm using. So next slide is introduction. So the sustainable construction material are the materials that look to limit the adverse environmental impacts by the utilization of raw materials. It also improves the structural strength of the concrete. Uh, there are different types of sustainable construction materials, but I'm using the glass powder and waste glass sludge as a sustainable construction materials. This consists of glass powder that are finely grinded to specific sites. So the next is application of glass powder. So there are various applications of glass powder found, but in this context, I'm using it as a cement alternative. I'm using glass powder as a cement alternative. So it is also used for casting of concrete columns, beams, and slabs in the construction field. So moving on to the properties of the glass powder. So the mechanical properties. At first, the modulus of elasticity. Due to the fine particles of glass powder, it occupies more space, resulting to a compacted mortar, and hence increase in the modulus of elasticity. So the next is compressive strength. For the 30% cement replacement by glass powder, there is an increase in 17% of in compressive strength. So the flexor, uh, there is an increase in flexor strength of mortar by 12.65% by the use of glass powder. Moving on the toughness. So the sample containing waste glass powder of 45% have higher toughness than the waste glass powder free samples. So the next is uh, splitting tensile strength. There is an increment of 14% for 20% glass powder used concrete. So the thermoconductivity for 30% cement substitution, there's a 31% thermal conductivity coefficient reduction. So the carbonation resistance. Uh, by the increment, there is an increment of 7.5 mm to 11.5 mm for the 25% to 100% cement replacement by the glass powder. So these are the category of glass. The first one is glass powder. Uh, these are the extremely fine powder, which is small or equal to ordinary Portland cement. It is prepared by crushing the bottles and jars in ball mills. It also improves the durability of the concrete. So moving on, waste glass sludge. Uh, waste glass sludge is mainly the byproduct of the glass industries. It has also high content of silicon oxide and aluminum oxide. So in addition of waste glass sludge, it improves the mechanical properties of the concrete, so which is very useful in construction industry. So these are the test and results, and consecutive results. So pure axial loading test. There is a maximum axial load for column, which has 20% of glass powder. So moving on, compressive strength test. 7 and 28 days, the compressive strength of mixer with 20% waste glass loss was 83% and 103.2%. So splitting tensile strength test. A significant increase in splitting tensile strength between 21 to 19 days for mixer containing 20% glass powder was 14%, and the corresponding value for the concrete containing 30% glass powder was 36%. So moving on, for the test, and the 3-point loading composite present test is done to find out the fracture strength of the concrete. So the fracture strength increases by 15% for glass powder concrete mixer and 9% for general mixer without glass powder. So the lime reactivity test. The glass powder blended mix with lime at 10% to 20% replacement achieve the strength because of reaction of glass powder with lime. So talking about the benefits that can be gained by the use of glass powder, it improves the compressive strength of the concrete. It reduces the emission of carbon dioxide by 30%. It enhances the durability of the concrete. It reduces the chloride ion penetration, It also helps in manufacturing environmentally friendly concrete. It also improves the fracture strength and thermal conductivity. It improves the freeze-thaw resistance as well as sulfur attack resistance. Mm. So these are the effect of glass powder in concrete. Uh, uh, the effect of glass powder in concrete is it reduces the carbon footprint emission by 30%. It improves the durability of the structure. It increases the tensile strength and structural strength. It reduces the shrinkage of early age concrete. Uh, uh, it has negative influence on workability. It improves the homogeneity of fresh concrete. So further, these are the research design I have taken. The framework strategy of research design is the research method and techniques which are chosen by the researcher. And the types of research are experimental research, and survey, correlations, semi-experimental research, and finally a review. So the research question for this paper is how the utilization of glass powder has made an effort towards the construction industry of civil engineer as well as sustainability, and how it overcome the limitation towards the plain reinforced concrete. This is the research question. So moving on to research design of this project, there are mainly two types of research design. There are descriptive research design and experimental research design. So, descriptive research design is a theory or hypothesis-based design. Some of the examples are articles, newspaper, and documents. So, moving on, experimental research design is a practical approach design that helps in evaluating the impact of independent variable on dependent variable. These are real test conducted. So, most of the research paper are based on the experiment research design. Probably 80% of the research paper are focused or based on experimental research design. So the research descriptive research design, um, talking about the strength and limitation. Uh, Descriptive research design is a hypothesis-based observational technique. The article, documents, newspaper are the examples. So the talking about the strength, it provides the in-depth view of any topic which we want to study, and the level of research and details of the research is valuable. It also have to create a new research question or hypothesis. So the limitation, talking about the limitation, there might be a human error of collecting the data due to the changed behavior of the human. It's also difficult to determine the relationship between cause and the effect. So the next is conclusion. So at last, the effective use of glass powder in the concrete as well as replacement not only improves the mechanical as well as durability properties of the concrete, but also provides effort in sustainable construction material. It also has to build the green development in the civil engineering field. Further, it also provides an isotropic strength, which is not common in plain concrete. We can also find the maximum possibility of the use of this glass source and glass powder as a cement replacement in the concrete after researching this paper. So these are the reference I have used to evaluate this do this research paper. Yeah. So thank you so much.